Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I am going to be doing the final challenge battle of the Young Yu Saga event, Sensui's Vengeance. So this battle is definitely one you should do because of the 3 Trinity vouchers. The 60 challenge points is always nice to have, and then there's also 30 Trinity crystals for rewards. So, let's begin! Alright, so let me just begin by talking about this fight before I begin the battle. So, Sensui actually gets to revive 2 times, okay? And with each revival, one of his talents activates, which are currently unactivated. His first state is very easy to kill. You just wipe him out very quickly. In his second state, after every battle, he has a 30% chance to gain Sacred Energy, where all stats are increased by 10% and it can stack up to 10 times. Okay? And in his third state, which after you've killed him yet again, he'll get Flames of Vengeance, where in his attack range, there will be random tiles that have flames on them. And if your character steps on those tiles, they get fatal damage. Okay? So that's the phase that's the most annoying for sure. You have to basically check every single tile your characters are on to make sure they're not on the flame tile, which is a huge hassle. I ended up having to use my Clock of Forgiveness multiple times because I kept accidentally stepping on tiles with flames, or ending my sorry, let me take that back. I kept having characters end their turns on the tile they're on, which had flames on them. And then, as a result, they burn to death. So it's a huge hassle, that third phase. Okay. So, other than the talent, which is quite annoying, Sensui does have 3 different skills that he uses. Okay. And he does kind of randomly use the skills because of the one round cooldown on the first 2, and then 2 turn cooldown on Splinter Rescue Kit. So you don't really know exactly what order he uses the skills on. However, let's go over each skill. The first skill, Splitting Kick Crimson Ball Wave, has an effect of it basically attacks the target that is in the right tile, then bottom tile, then top tile, then finally left tile. Okay, so you can kind of determine who he will attack based on where you position your characters. Okay, and this skill, what it does is after your character gets a debuff where after taking action, you deal fixed damage equals to 80% of the hero's max hit points to all allies within 1 ring, and it lasts 3 turns, cannot be dispelled. Okay. The most annoying part of this skill is the 1 ring aspect. Okay. And also your own character will take this damage. So it's a little bit annoying to deal with. The second skill that Sensui has is Hard Energy Gun, where it deals 1.5 times damage, and after battle, it applies Energy Shot, mobility -1, stacks after taking action, and disappears after reaching -3. So this skill is different from the Splitting Kick Crimson Ball Wave in that Hard Energy Gun will always attack the closest ranged character. Okay? So, and in terms of order, once again, it's kind of so you can kind of determine which character gets attacked based on placement. Okay? And I believe this one is kind of counterclockwise-ish. Okay, just so you're aware. So depending on, so if let's say you have Liana here and Tiaris here, it'll attack Liana rather than Tiaris. I personally just kept rotating between Tiaris and Liana on taking that hit, and then moving them out of range. Okay. The third skill, Splinter Reshukin, not much needs to be said. This skill deals AoE damage to all enemies on the battlefield, and it also applies 2 stacks of Sacred Energy on Sensui. Okay. So once again, Sacred Energy gives him plus 10% to all stats. Alright. So in other words, the 2 aspects of this fight is A, you need a way to manage the debuffs he can apply onto you. B, you need to be able to dispel those buffs. Okay? As long as you can dispel them, you won't have any problem surviving. And then of course C, for the third and final revival of Sensui, you need to make sure you can avoid those flame tiles. Okay. So, let's talk about characters who can dispel buffs then. Well, you see a whole bunch of them here that I'm currently using. Bernhardt has Hegemony, which can remove a buff. He can also equip the Mjolnir, which can also remove a buff. So that's the first one. Second would be Elwin with Roar and Sword Soul. If he brings them, he can remove buffs with those skills. Okay. Third is Young Jessica, who has Cleanse. Also of note is Young Jessica can attack outside of Sensui's range, right? Because Sensui only has 4 range, right? 1 plus 3, giving him 4 range. Young Jessica, in her Divine Bestowment form, has 5 range, so she can endlessly attack outside of range. So the only thing she has to worry about then would be the AoE attack of Splinter Reshuken. Other than that, I'm bringing 2 healers, Liana and Tiaris, to keep my party healthy. And then the last character is kind of up to you. I'm bringing Liana as an extra DPS, but in truth, there are lots of other options. If you, for example, of note would be if you could bring Silverwolf, he can steal buffs, right? By his talent. You know, if attack crit hits, he can steal 2 buffs from the enemy. So he can steal those plus 10% stat buffs and make himself that much stronger. So Silverwolf is actually great for this fight. You know? Another character who can steal buffs potentially is Feraquea with Plunder, right? Because she can plunder and then steal up to 3 buffs from the enemy. So Feraquea could also steal buffs and get her become stronger. And other than these characters I'm showing here, right? Vargas has Battle Cry, he can dispel a buff. Juggler has Battle Cry, he can dispel a buff. And you know, there's a bunch of other characters. Shafaniel in particular can dispel buffs with Cleanse and has Demolished for AoE removal, buff removal. And then of course I think Rachel also gets Demolish, and yeah. And then I think Yulia, one of her skills can remove buffs, which is Holy Justice. But keep in mind, Holy Justice does have a 5-turn cooldown, so it's not the best skill for dispelling buffs. And then last but not least, Liana can also bring Cleanse to dispel buffs. So there's lots of options for buff dispel, right? Anyone with Roar, Cleanse, you know, if you have equipment like Vidar's Rose, Demon Slayer, or Mjolnir, they can all help remove buffs as well. So yeah, there you go. So I'm just running one party that can handle this fight, but there's tons of other options. Alright, so with all that said, we're ready to begin the battle. And so let's begin. In any case though, let's have Young Jessica, Divine Bestowment, outside of range. And then I'm just going to have... Let's see, I'm going to actually have Leon Chivalry up first. And Assault. And back off. And then Bernhardt can... Actually, I'm going to act again first. Let's act again. Leon. Now have him attack again. Alright. And then Bernhardt can just move up and... Action buff. And I'm going to have Elwin... I can either have him attack or faction buff up. Right? I might as well just have him attack this turn. And then finally, let's have Tiaris. Just gonna move her up and have her attack blessing. My Young Jessica. Doesn't really matter. So Elwin tanked that hit. Right, let's take a look. So he has the debuff where after taking action, he deals fixed damage equals to 80% of hero's max hit points to all allies within 1 ring. Right? So I'm gonna have to move him out of the way. It's pretty straightforward. As long as he's out of the way, he won't damage anyone. Now I'll have him faction buff here. Next. So let's take a look at what effects he has. Right? So I'm just gonna fireball this turn with my young Jessica. And have Liana choose to heal up Elwin. Or Tiaris can. One or the other. Whatever. Let's have Leon attack first. And back off. Let's have Bernhardt attack. I'm going to have Liana heal up Elwin. And Tiaris just end their turn. So Liana tanks the hits with the Shrine Maidens. And the second debuff, as you see, is mobility +1, right? And stack after taking action, and it appears after reaching -3. So Liana will steadily lose mobility. Pretty straightforward. Alright. So remember, Elwin's debuff is 1 ring, so it is a little bit of a hassle. So, I'm just gonna have young Jessica continue to launch fireballs. And I'm going to move Bernhardt to attack from the south to avoid Elwin. So, Sensui has been killed for the first time. Let's now have Elwin strike from the north. And this turn is the AoE attack turn. So I'm going to just have Leon attack and retreat. Let's heal up Elwin and have Liana self-heal. So now I've rotated the characters who are taking this hit. Right, this time Bernhardt has it. But Elwin will lose it. So let's see how this goes. I think I'm going to have to just have Bernhardt not attack to make this work. In any case though, let's start with Elwin striking. I think I'm going to have Leon Chivalry up here and attack. Oh, look at this. He has one of those buffs that I mentioned. So I'm going to have young Jessica launch a cleanse attack here to get rid of it. I'm going to have Liana prayer up everyone here. And I'm just simply going to shift Bernhardt over and heal him up. Alright, so this turn, I need to start continuing to hammer down Sensui as much as I can. So let's just continue, and I'm gonna try to separate my characters away from Bernhardt, of course. So let's have Elwin to strike. Next is, so we can see that he has this buff increasing his stats, right? But as long as I can survive it, that won't be a problem. So I'm going to continue to attack. So Leon strikes. Right. I'm going to have Bernhardt faction buff here. Okay. Going to have, and now I see that Sensui has 2 of those stacks of buffs. So now I'm going to have young Jessica cleanse attack Sensui from afar. Let's have Liana act again, Elwin, so he can faction buff up my characters. And finally, Tiaris is going to Healing Light and heal up everyone that remains. So the splinter attack hits me, but everyone lives. Alright, so we're fine. So I see he has 2 buffs again. So, going to simply start. I think I'm going to need Elwin to roar here to remove some of those buffs on Sensui. But since I did activate clocks on young Jessica for cleanse, I can keep launching that out too. I'm just trying to decide the action order. In large part because of Bernhardt. Well, you know what? Let's have Liana self-heal and talent heal the others to start. Okay? And then I don't think Leon would have any problems at all attacking. Going to have to end Bernhardt's turn. Let's have Tiaris heal up Bernhardt. And I guess Elwin is going to use his roar skill here to remove those buffs on Sensui. And then I can just have young Jessica continue to fireball from afar. Alright, so this turn I have several things I have to do. I need to get Elwin out of the range. And if possible, I want Tiaris to tank the hits instead of Liana, because I don't want Liana to get that mobility debuff anymore. So let's just try moving Elwin out of the way first, and we'll go from there.
Ooh.
Gonna have Bernhardt strike. Guess I'm going to have Leon attack. And retreat. Tiaris is going to shift up and attack Blessing Leon. Hopefully taking the hit from Sensui instead of Liana. And I'm going to toss out a cleanse attack on Sensui to remove that debuff. Or the buff that he got. And let's have Liana heal up everyone here. So let's see if Tiaris gets hit. Yes, perfect. Because Tiaris getting mobility debuff, she still has high mobility anyways, right? She has 5 mobility, so she's a better character to get debuffed than Liana. Alright. So, I need to heal up Elwin first. Before anything else, I think. Let's do that. And then I'm going to have young Jessica toss out a fireball here. I'm going to have Bernhardt attack last because Bernhardt has hegemony to remove these buffs. So then Leon can chivalry up and assault. Right. Elwin is going to just end his turn. Liana is just too busy healing right now to be able to cast Act again.
Ooh.
So, I'm gonna have Bernhardt attack and remove those buffs on Sensui. Did he just get one? Oh my god. Well, nothing I can do there. So that was the luck aspect. Let's see if all my characters can survive when Sensui has 1 buff. Yes, so that's fine. So battle will continue. Alright, so I'm going to have to start by mass healing to my characters on this side. And he has way too many buffs. But let's just start with young Jessica, toss him out a fireball. Elwin can faction buff here. Bernhardt is going to attack. Same with you. So let's have Bernhardt strike first here. Because I know Bernhardt can remove 2 buffs with hegemony and his whoops. So, I'm going to load that one back. Totally missed it. wasn't paying attention to the tiles, so that was just a careless mistake.
ご命令を
Alright. Bernhardt attacks.
ご命令を
And I'm going to act again.
これが私の信じる心です
Bernhardt. And have him activate his faction buff, I think.
Oh.
So now Bernhardt is gonna have that crazy debuff and be out of the fight for a
女
while.
神の何
Oh.
はいよ準備完了です
はい
Oh.
Alright, so the tile I can attack from is only this one.
準備完了です
So let's have Leon run over and attack and retreat to start.
女神の名において
And
Oh.
全力でいけ
going to start moving. Going forward.
女神の名そうだご命令を
Liana.
Oh.
そうだご命令を
Oh.
ご命令をそうだはい
Oh.
Going to have to move Bernhardt over here. So first, let's heal up
これが
Bernhardt
私
so
の
he
信じ
can
る心
survive the damage he's gonna take.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
And then Tiaris can heal up Bernhardt at this point.
光は私と共に
And I'm going to save the cleanse
女
attack.
神の名にお
I'm
いて
just gonna be patient. It's gonna be more important to have it. Hmm.
光は私と共に
Alright.
はい
So Bernhardt is gonna take a hammering again. Hmm.
女神の名において
I hate those tiles. They're so not obvious.
女神の名において
Like I totally couldn't see it there just now. Whatever.
はいよ
Actually, I have the opportunity to attack multiple times. I think I'm going to take advantage of that.
全力でいけ了解
女神の名においてはいこれが私の信じる心です光は私とともう私
Oh.
Alright,
光は
perfect.
そうだ
Let's heal up Bernhardt then.
まだ終わらないよ女神の名において
And young Jessica will continue to fireball. Alright, so I'm going to prayer up Liana here. Just
今
that.
日思考そして
And have everyone else attack.
光は私と共に
So let's check the tiles that are
もう
available.
私の番
Let's see. The one Tiaris is on is okay. The one North is okay. And the one Elwin is on is not. And the one Bernhardt is on is not.
全力でいけ
Alright. So let's just shift Bernhardt back.
女神の名においてそうだ
And have Tiaris heal up Bernhardt.
できた
And then Leon can chivalry and attack here.
さあ
And
決
Elwin
着
can
をつけ
follow
よ
up.
う準備完了です
女神の名において
全力でいけ
And young Jessica can just cleanse attack from where she is to remove those last few buffs on Sensui. Elwin gets attacked and debuffed.
女神の名において
So is there
はいよ
this turn I have no attack tiles at all.
はいよ
Okay,
全力でいけ
so be it. So I'll simply have young Jessica Fireball. And that's it. Of course he gets
ご
that.
命令を
全力でい
It's okay,
け遅い
So I'm going to act again my
これ
young
が私の
Jessica
信じる心で
so
す
that she can cleanse attack here.
女神
Now before I do that though, I should probably
了解
have Leon just end this turn since he can't attack.
光はわ
Have Bernhardt, I don't know, faction buff.
かな
光はわ
I'm going to attack Blessing, young Jessica. One of the rare turns that I can actually use attack Blessing.
光は私と共に
Oh, and she has no skills available, so she'll just end her turn. Alright. How many more turns do I have? 6.
光は私と共に
Okay. So,
準備完了です
one tile to attack from. Let's get started.
全力でいけ準備完了です
Leon to start. And the retreat.
女神の名に
Bernhardt can follow up. Young Jessica, cleanse attack. Probably should have used Fireball there. Whoops. Oh well.
ご命令をそうだ
Just trying to see if I can.
はい
Alright. Let's heal up
これが
Tiaris here.
私の信じる心です
And talent heal. Elwin.
はいよ
Elwin can end this turn.
そうだ
And then
そうだ
get healed. So there's the AoE attack. Alright, so this turn Sensui has pretty darn high stats. So let's start removing buffs. I'm going to have young Jessica launch a long-range cleanse attack to dispel some of those buffs to start. And then I think I need to heal up my party. So let's have Liana. Yeah, might as well have Liana move to here and heal. Alright. Let's have Leon then attack. And back off. And then Elwin can move up and attack. I think I'm going to need to miracle up here. And Bernhardt can just strike. The battle is almost done, finally. Just gonna go for the finish now, at this point.
Ooh.
And Elwin should be able to finish it with that roar. So there we go. And there we have it. 30 Trinity crystals, 60 challenge points, and 3 Trinity vouchers. And I also got some bond flowers, I guess. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Nitro out.